Hello everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Finance Agents Live. This is Finance Agents Live number 15, and today is launch day. Today is launch day for the CredNext challenge. If you've been on our show before, then we've been talking this up for a little while, so I'm excited to actually do the launch. But before I get started, I want to say hello to some friendly faces I see coming in. Brett, I see you in there. Thanks for coming in today. Phil Cunningham from EasyViz Funding, good having you here. Rhoda from Lend to It, also joined by Darren, our amazing tech resource, who's going to be talking in today. Anybody else who is on, please go and type in your name. I love seeing people that we've been working with for years or new faces that are new to the show. And we are very excited to get this going. Today is about transparency, right? One of the big problems with the credit repair industry, which is not what we're doing here, is there is no transparency, right? People sign up, they get sold maybe something that is a lie. Unfortunately, everybody pretty much knows now that credit repair does not work. The old credit repair doesn't work. Too many people are unhappy, and it just wasn't working, right? So that's why we were so excited to partner with CredNext to bring something that's different. It's better, but it's one thing for me to say it. It's one thing for somebody to say it to me, and then for me to tell you. It's another thing to see it happen in real time. So CredNext is credit report correction, which is better than credit repair, which has much larger point increases and focuses on changing your life, not just temporary boosting of your score. So that's CredNext, and we're going to be talking about the CredNext challenge, which launches today. Now, as far as I know, this is the world's first credit challenge. I could be wrong. I didn't research this, so if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But I think this is the world's first live, real-time, public credit correction, credit repair challenge, whatever you want to call it. We are going to be changing people's lives and reporting on it every month for the next 6 months. Today is day 0. Today is when it starts. And then for 6 months, we're going to come back and show the progress that our people are going to have over 6 months. Fully transparent, real-time results, and it's real, right? I keep saying it's real, and you know why I'm reporting that it's real is because things are going to break, right? We have 10 people that we pulled out that are going to participate in the challenge, myself being one of the 10. And I can tell you right now that not everybody's going to have a perfect result. Not everybody's going to end up with an 850 score. I have no idea where this is going to go. And if some of it ends up being bad, if somebody's scores go down, I'm going to report it. This is the no spin zone. We're just going to do what happens, and you're going to see it live. We're all experiencing this together over the next 6 months. So the CredNext challenge, that's what we're launching today. A shout out to our sponsor, Startup Vitamins. This is what we're doing. Experiment, fail, learn, repeat. I'm hoping we skip the fail part. But you never know, right? You never have 100% success. So we're going to experiment, we're going to learn, we're going to repeat, we're going to do it live with you as we go. So the CredNext challenge, what is it? We have 10 people who have signed up that agreed to share their score. Well, let's say 9 people. 9 people plus me who agreed to share their scores and information with us here at Finance Agents. And then each month we're going to report back and tell you exactly what happened. Now when I say exactly, we're still going to maintain the anonymity of the participants. A lot of people wanted it, and I get it. I'm putting my scores out there and everything, but not everybody else wants to do that, right? So we're still going to protect their anonymity, but as far as the details of what's happening, we'll tell you exactly what's happening month to month, who's succeeding, who's not succeeding, who had the big increase, who made it far enough to be able to achieve what they want. So we're going to be doing that over the next 6 months. We're sharing scores and tell us what is good or bad or what's not working about the process. So who thinks this is going to work? I'm really interested. I see some more people came on. Frank, Brian, welcome to the show. Valerie, Adam, Peter, good seeing you again. What do you guys think is going to happen? We have 10 people. Out of those 10 people, some people are coming in with decent scores like mine, which you're going to see here in a second. And some of the people have scores a lot lower, which is good. That's what we wanted. We were looking for a big range of people. But what do you think? Does anybody think all 10 people will get an at least a 100-point score increase, right? That'll be real interesting to me. That's my hope. I'm hoping everybody gets at least 100 points up, and I think it could happen, but I don't know. We'll see, right? So I'm curious to hear what you guys think as it goes. I'm thinking probably an average of 50 to 75 points. If I see an average across the whole thing of 50 to 75 points, that's a win, but that's only part of the win, right? Again, this isn't credit repair. This is credit report correction, which is more than just changing the items on the report. It's about finding out what people need and helping them achieve their goals. So beyond just showing you the increases, we're going to tell you when somebody's gotten to the point where they can do what they want, right? When somebody's had enough change in order to reach a goal, we'll tell you about that too. And if people are able to come in and do a testimonial, I'm going to try to get some of these people to agree to an interview if they're willing. We'll let you know what happens. So yeah, I see some people, Adam is saying credit repair on the most part are people just blowing wind. I agree. For 10 years, I've been in the industry and I've been pitched by, you have no idea how many credit repair companies have come to me, and they all tell me that they are God's gift to credit reports and that they can walk on water, remove bankruptcies in a blink of an eye, jump over buildings, whatever. They all say the same thing. Unfortunately, I don't always see the results, and I've seen a lot of credit catastrophes happen over the years. So this is us really testing this new partner in public for you guys. All right, so the CredNext challenge, what is it? If you're interested, by the way, if you're watching this in real time, you're interested, you can still sign up and be part of the challenge. There's two parts to the challenge. One is us reporting over the next 6 months what's happening. The other is anybody who signs up in the month of November 2017, you also are eligible to get some rewards or prizes as we go through this. Just signing up doesn't mean we're going to be sharing your scores, so don't worry about that if you're not interested in doing that. But if you sign up before Thursday or Friday, I guess Friday is the first, then you are eligible to receive prizes based on your results. So we're going to go into those prizes here in a second once we get through. Okay, here we go. All right, first volunteer is me. As I said, here are my scores. I'm sorry if that's a little bit small, but my scores are 696, 714, and 700 on TransUnion. When you look at that readout over there, it makes me look like I'm pretty bad. It has 8 negatives and 16 negatives on Experian, but I want to let you know I don't actually have a single negative, like derogatory item on my report. Those are all inquiries. Again, as I explained before, as an owner of a business and in finance and working with different lenders, everybody and their brother wants to check my credit. It annoys the heck out of me because I know it pulls my scores down. But for me, I have high inquiries and I have business debt that's reporting personally. Those are the two things that are pulling my scores down. My report is fairly limited on things that CredNext is going to be able to do in order to get the scores up. So I'm really interested to see what they could do with my scores. All right, so I am number 1. Now, number 2, you're going to notice here, volunteer number 2 is Taylor Lautner, not the famous one. And by the way, I'm pretty sure, Darren, do you know who Taylor Lautner is? Who? I told Darren that I'm going to be talking to him and that he's going to be able to talk back. Is your microphone working, Darren? Maybe. All right.
No.
You're Darren. All right, you're in there. So Taylor Lautner. Who's Taylor Lautner?
Well, he's an actor.
In what's he been in?
Oh, I have no idea. I can pull it up on IMDb. I'm not going to know right off.
Okay, all right. We have no clue who Taylor Lautner is, but I just want to let you guys know that this Taylor Lautner is not the famous Taylor Lautner. Well, you might be guessing I'm using pseudonyms here in order to protect anonymity, but it's more fun. Taylor Lautner. I think it might be the person in those vampire movies, the wolf guy. Wolf guy and the vampire. I'm getting some nods from the crowd. So Taylor Lautner, wolf guy, big pecs. He's got 601 Equifax, 598 Experian, 532 TransUnion. The key issue that Taylor needs to get corrected is he didn't get as much money on the movies as he thought, and now he got some collections because he went out and bought too many wolf suits. Who knows? All right, bad jokes. But he's got 8 negative on Experian, 17 on 8 negative on Equifax, 17 negative on Experian, 17 on TransUnion. So Taylor Lautner, key issue here, are collections. If we can repair collections, we can improve Taylor's situation. All right, so volunteer number 2, a personal favorite of mine, George Lucas. George Lucas has scores of 609, 556, and 524. Key issues for George are collections. If we can repair collections for George, then we are in a good scenario. So that's volunteer number 3. Let's move on to volunteer number 4, Russell Crowe. All right, I hear you can be a little bit difficult to deal with on the set, but all right, Darren's not liking my jokes. I'm doing my best here, guys. 651 Equifax, 648 Experience, 647 TransUnion. That's actually a pretty tight range. You don't normally see somebody with 3 scores that close. Also, this is a pretty good report. But what Russell Crowe has is paid tax liens that are showing up on his credit. Now, if you look on the report there that we're showing, it shows them as in dispute. And, we just got people signing up within the last couple of weeks, but it just goes to show that CredNext is not sitting around waiting. They're jumping on stuff, and they're already disputing these things. So these things are already moved from negative to in dispute, which doesn't mean they're gone, but it means they're in dispute, and they should be getting better soon. So Russell Crowe, tax liens. Volunteer number 5, Felicity Jones. I don't know what she's in. But I tell you what, she is in high debt and inquiries. She has high debt and inquiries, kind of like me, because I have my business debt reporting to personal. And so she has 633 Equifax, 664 Experian, and a 639 TransUnion. So we can clean up those inquiries and maybe do something about that high debt. Perhaps it's something like me where it's business debt and it shouldn't be reporting to personal. Then you're going to see a big jump for Felicity Jones. All right, moving on to volunteer number 6. That is Ashton Kutcher. I don't know if it happened maybe in the divorce, but apparently he went through a bankruptcy. And when you go through bankruptcy, that is often coupled with collections. Now, when you look at his actual score here, of his report, it only shows a 353 on in dispute. For somebody who has gone through a bankruptcy, that's a really low number of items in dispute. Maybe the bankruptcy was a long time ago, because that clearly, 1 bankruptcy and 2 collections, you're at 3. That's a pretty low number. But somehow it got him to an Equifax score of 0. If you're noticing that, something happened, and we see this from time to time. We see people who maybe they're going through a repair process on their credit, and their scores and their profiles completely wiped out for a while. That happens, and then it ends up coming back later. Or maybe there's multiple social security numbers, or we see this from time to time where something weird happens where there is absolutely no report at all. If you go try to apply for credit and you have a 0 or a no report found, you're not getting very far at all. Anyway, so if we can help Ashton, then he can get back to investing in those high-tech startups that he loves to do. All right, volunteer number 7, Aaron Carter, a little bit younger, so hasn't been able to make a lot of progress on his credit, but he did make that's a lot of accounts. Aaron Carter has a lot of accounts, 27 with Equifax. That's a lot. 5 are already in dispute, and this is one of the lower scores that we'll be working. And again, a tight range, 509, 508, 508, very close together. So we're going to be able to see, is he making big progress on one or another? Now, by the way, we're doing our first update to this 30 days from now. Most likely, we're going to see the same scores 30 days from now, in general, maybe minor changes. When you normally go through a credit repair or this credit report correction process, the first set of changes tend to come about 45 days after you start. So it's probably going to miss the first 30 days. I'm just throwing it out there now. 30 days from now, you're probably not going to see much change. But 60 days from now, I bet you see a lot of change. All right, so after Aaron, volunteer number 8 is Seth Myers. Funny guy, but he got himself into some high debt and lots of inquiries. We see this all the time where somebody has good credit, they use their good credit, and they get maxed out, but they're accustomed to having good credit, and then they keep applying for new things, and they're surprised when they get declined, so they just keep applying. They're like, well, I don't know what's going on with that bank. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you applied at 6 or 7 banks, you're not getting approved anywhere. In fact, I mentioned before we had somebody come in here once with 255 inquiries. I don't even know how you have the perseverance to get through that much. But if you on 255, once you're through about 12, then nobody's going to approve you. So if you got inquiries, that's something you want removed. Most anybody can have their scores improved by going through inquiry removal. Volunteer number 9, Daphne Oz. Here's somebody, I have no idea who Daphne Oz is, but it's got a nice name. But Daphne has tax liens, and they seem to be showing up, especially on Experian. You see this happen a lot, especially for released or paid off tax liens. They end up falling off some of the bureaus, but they don't fall off others. And being in how they're real heavily on Experian is one of the most pulled reports by the lenders we work with, so it's one you really want to resolve. Now, even with 12 negative items and tax liens, Daphne has a 695 Experian. So if we can get some of these things removed, I believe Daphne might be able to hit the 800 range. Oh, Darren's
so
coming
she's
in.
actually a nutrition author who's on the Chew on E-News.
A nutrition author on the Chew. Sweet. I don't know what that is, but awesome. All right. Oh, Dr. Oz's wife? Is that true? That true? Adam says it's Dr. Oz's wife. If it is, I mean, it makes sense. Great. Well, there you go. All right, moving to the last one. Last but not least, our favorite, Tupac Shakur. We're hoping to bring back, this is a really bad, we're going to bring back Tupac's credit from the grave, but, you know, bad joke, I admit it. High debt, that's what Tupac has, high debt, and because of that, he's got a 641, 643, and a 626. So again, if this is one of those situations where you got business debt reporting to personal, which we see all the time, it's super common for a business owner to start a business and start growing that business by using the personal credit cards. Next thing you know, the cards are maxed out and you don't qualify for any business funding whatsoever. It's too bad, but it's something that we can help you with.
All right, so just real fast disclaimer. Obviously, all these names are for anonymity purposes.
Thank you for reminding me.
And they in no way relate to the actors or people who are in the profession. And this is not for marketing for them, or that is just to provide anonymity to those people who are going through this challenge.
Got it. I should have said that every single time. Okay, so Tupac clearly doesn't need his credit repaired, and nobody else that I said is a real person. These are pseudonyms we're using to protect the innocent or the guilty, whatever you think of.
And Felicity Jones was on Rogue One. So
Rogue One. Do you know who she was in Rogue One?
Yes, she was Jin.
She was the main okay,
character.
That's Felicity Jones. Oh, she's awesome. All right, she'll be in the. Right, actually, she won't be in any more movies because now she's dead in the movies. Right. All right. Well, so it was a good movie. Okay, so that is all our volunteers. A big thank you to all our volunteers for volunteering to be a part of our test group and bear your information for the world, for everybody to see, for us all to learn from. So what are the prizes? If you want to have your credit scores improved, if you have something you're trying to achieve and your credit is stopping you, join the CredNext Challenge, sign up in the next couple days, and you get prizes, potentially, right? 3 prizes for 3 different scenarios. The first scenario is whoever gets, and by the way, everybody gets better scores and a better life, so everybody wins by being part of the challenge, even if you don't win a specific prize. Everybody hopefully gets better scores. But 3 prizes for 3 scenarios. The first scenario is the highest point score increase. So if you go from a 600 to a 700, that's 100 points. So 400 to a 500 is 100 points, right? So whoever gets the highest point score increase gets a prize. Whoever gets the largest percent increase, so if you're a 400 to a 500, that's a 25% increase, but a 500 to a 600 is only a 20% increase. So the highest percent score increase, that wins a prize. And the highest end score, and when I say score, it's an average between the 3 scores, not a single score. The highest final score, those are the three things that will win prizes. And those prizes are, for the highest numeric increase, you get a refund of Identity IQ or Privacy Guard, whatever credit monitoring service you're using. That's the first prize. Second prize is for the highest percent increase. You get a 50% rebate of your CredNext fees or investment. And then the person with the end highest score gets a $500 gift card. So decent prizes and definitely designed to help spur you and get you into the thing. All right, I see some comments coming in. Brett is saying goal for his business is he wants Top Funding Source to get clients to score a FICO 7 plus for UBO submissions utilizing CredNext. Awesome. Great goal. Hopefully, I would love it if that had a specific number. If you want to get 10 clients in the month of December, for example, so that they can, at least half of them can qualify for a specific funding program within the next 6 months, something like that. That's a great goal. Adam is asking, how much can it help with someone with a credit score of 800 plus? That is a great question. And just with that amount of information, I really can't tell you. If I was to, and by the way, it's not me, if Bob from CredNext or someone from his team was to look at the actual credit score, like the report from that person, maybe that's you, maybe that's somebody you know, then they can look at it and they can tell you if they're actually able to increase the score. So if I were you, I'd go to CredNext, fill in the form, sign up for Identity IQ, get your scores, have a consultation. If they look at it and say, we're not going to make this any better, then don't sign up. You're not out anything, and at least you know. But if they see that there's some misalignment, you have some of your personal things reporting or reporting incorrectly, or there's a number of different things they could possibly do. They would have to look at the score to know that, and I encourage you to find out. And by the way, I'd love to know. So if you go and they tell you that they can do it, let me know. We'll talk about it on the next show. Or you could be, I know what you're probably thinking. If I start at an 801 and I get to an 850, I'm definitely winning that $500 for like a month. You may make money on this prize, and that's great. So, we'll let you know. Let me know. We'll let you know if I hear any different. All right, so if you're interested, go to CredNext. That's crednext.com. Fill in the first name, last name, email, phone. Wait for somebody to call you. Typically, it's within a day, and then we'll go from there. All right, Bill Hubbard is asking, does a client have to be requesting a UBF, which is our internal term for the credit card program, to get repair? So not at all, Bill. You can refer people directly to CredNext, and they can sign up just for the credit report correction process. Remember, this is not credit repair. It's more than that. They can go direct to CredNext, sign up for the credit report correction, and go through it, and they can get it. They don't even have to want financing. For example, I'm not looking for financing, but if I can get my scores up, I'm going to, because who knows when I'm going to need them to be up later. You never know. All right, so what's the investment? If you're interested in doing this, or you know somebody who needs help, whose life is being stopped by issues on their credit, what's the investment? It's pretty simple, right? It's $99 in sign up, and then $99 a month after that. Stay as long as you're getting benefit, or as long as you see things improving. And if, let's say worst case scenario, because I really don't think it'll take this long, if you were in for 9 months, meaning you signed up and then paid 9 more times, it'd be 10 months, that's $1,000. If you're trying to determine, is this worth $1,000, just think, are you applying for a mortgage, or can you apply to refinance your mortgage? If you could just shave 1/4 of a percentage point off your interest rate, that could save you $20,000 over the life of the loan. Or if you have current credit card debt and your scores are, say, less than 700, you can get your scores up a little bit. You can go back. You can apply for new cards, do a balance transfer. You could save thousands of dollars by cutting your score. Most people have credit cards like 16, 17, 18% interest rate. Credit card rates, interest rates have gone up a ton in the last 6 years since I've been watching, a lot. People with good credit are getting 14%. If you have marginal credit, you might have 29%. You might have a default rate because you missed a payment on your credit card. Anything you could do to get your scores up means you're going to save money. It might mean that you're going to get a job that you didn't think you could get. You might get a cheaper rate on your car insurance. There's a lot of different things, so it's definitely worth the money. $1,000 may sound like a lot, but it's nothing compared to the change that, when something is bad on your credit, it's there for 7 years. So the amount of money you would save by fixing something that would be there for 7 years is really hard to compare. So, are you interested in taking the CredNext challenge? Time is short. If you want to be in, if you want to be eligible for the prizes, if you want to maybe make more money by participating than you spent to get in it, sign in and make sure to sign up in the next 2 days and you will be in the contest. If not, sit back. I hope you get some benefit of this public display of, I don't know what's going to happen, right? We got 10 people. It's a real life example. We'll let you know exactly what's happening, and then you can go through it. If this is the first time you're on our show, then please subscribe. That way you're going to get notifications for the new shows that are coming out, and then you can watch the progress. We actually have a specific playlist just for CredNext. You can go join that playlist, and then you can watch from the beginning. If you haven't seen our prior shows, where I did a prior show where I did an in-detail interview with Bob from CredNext, where he goes through everything, explains what credit report correction is in detail, what kind of things can be removed, what things can't. Then go watch that show. I think you'll find it interesting. We've got a couple more questions here. Will CN direct one to lower CC percentage? I'm going to interpret that. I think that means will CredNext tell people how to lower their credit card percent interest rates? I think that's what you're saying. And anything that you're working on, CredNext, their whole thing is that they're more than just credit repair. They want to know the process. And I didn't put the process in the presentation because it's on one of the prior, it's on many of the prior shows we did. So go watch those if you want to know. But their whole goal is to start with what are you trying to accomplish, and then what can they do? And they're going to work towards your goal. So if you say, I'm trying to get my scores up so I can get my rates down on my credit cards, and if they have a way to tell you how to do that, they will. If there's something they don't know how to do, then I'm sure we'll be happy to help you. We help people get financing all the time, and we'd be glad to give you some tips. Or if you need new financing, that's what we do. We've helped people get over $1 billion in funding, and we're glad to talk to you about it. Come to financeagents.com or give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you out. Tom is asking, does CredNext work on corporate credit? Great question, and the answer is no. All right? Credit report correction is specific for personal credit reports. Business credit reports, which is what you're asking about, is a whole different industry, very different. And by the way, it's a lot harder. The credit reports of individuals are highly regulated by the government, which is why we're able to do, or CredNext is able to do what they do. The business reports, there are very few laws, and you might have something reporting incorrectly in your business report, and it's really up to the reporting agencies to decide if they want to remove it. There are not the same laws. So if you have that, I'm sorry, it's harder to do. There are people that do it. We don't work with anybody, so I don't have a referral for you, unfortunately. All right, well, that's it. It looks like it. Anybody else have any other questions before I wrap it up? Let me know. Otherwise, join the CredNext Challenge. Change your scores, change your life. I'm doing it. You can do it. I've personally seen people get better by going through even credit repair that hardly works at all. I've seen people make big differences and be able to get a mortgage or get a loan or get a car that they weren't able to get. Working with CredNext, you should be able to do so much more. I'd love to hear your stories as this happens. Over the next 6 months, I'll be telling you about these people. But if anybody else who goes through it that wants to talk about it, let me know. We can interview on the show. I want other people to hear. If it's positive, great. If it's negative, great, right? We're trying to do the real information and let everybody know exactly what's happening. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Thanks everybody for coming on. We look forward to doing a lot more deals together.